Hi, guys. So, today I wanted to talk about how marriage changes after having kids. So, I only have one kid, I only have one baby girl. She is one. And I'm starting to see how we've made it. At one, it started to feel like, okay, things are so much easier than how they used to be. Um, and it feels like we have a lot more time to be together now. So that's kind of what the video is about. It kind of made me think, you know, wow, your marriage really goes through ups and downs after having a kid. And of course, as it should, right? Because having a kid is such a big change. And I really, the idea of that is you hear it all the time, but when you go through it and you experience it, it really is such an interesting change that I felt like it would be a good idea to make a video about. So, really, your marriage changes in many ways, but it all comes from the fact that your time is not your own anymore. So that's the real big difference. And there are little differences that come with that, but that's where everything comes from is the fact that your time is not your own. So you don't have time to be with your partner like you used to so that it's just the two of you, so that you can do whatever you want to do, or which many times for me was doing nothing at all was my favorite thing, to just be in the bed watching TV. I love my Bravo, and I used to love that. And when my husband was home, just watching movies in the middle of the day, doing nothing, and you miss that when you can't do it anymore. When you have a baby, you really can't do that anymore. Um, and you miss it. You do. And it's okay to miss it. It's okay. Um, it's it feels sometimes at the beginning I was like, oh my God, I cannot speak like this. But it's okay to say I miss some parts of my old life when I didn't have my baby. It's okay to say that, and that does not mean that you're not grateful or that you don't want the new life that you have. It's just honest. You do miss some things. I do miss sleeping in, watching TV with my husband, just being with my husband. So I remember when I was postpartum, those first 2 weeks that were very hard for me. Um, I cried every day. I would cry every day. And one of the biggest reasons why I would cry, I mean, if you saw my last video, it's because I had a traumatic brain story. But the other one was because I missed my husband. I really missed him, and I would cry about it. We would do shifts at the beginning. Like, I don't remember what the shifts were exactly, but like, let's say I would be sleeping during the day, and then I would wake up, let's say at 7 p.m., and take care of our baby, and then he will go nap or something like that. We wouldn't be together that often at the beginning, at the very, very start of when our baby girl was a newborn. That's how we decided to go through it, because and I think it's the right approach, and this is what I would do with my next baby as much as we can, because now we have our baby already. So, we do want to have more kids, and that's the plan. But anyways, let me get back on track, because I tend to go off topic a lot. But so that's the thing with the number one thing of how your marriage changes is the time. You do not have enough of it at all. Not just for your husband, but not to clean, not to do what you want to do, what he wants to do, you know. And then you start getting it. Like, I would get annoyed. Like, oh, I really, really wanted time to just like stupid things. Like, oh, I just, or not even fun things. I just want a day where I could just clean my house, things like that. Um, or just to do nothing at home, like I was talking about, and watch TV the whole day, you know? So it's okay. It's okay to miss the time you used to have before you had a baby. And it's okay also to know that you're gonna miss your partner. That's what happened to me. It's a common thing. It happened to my sister. I remember my sister warned me about it, and then when I went through it, I was like, oh my God, it's very true. That's how the number one way your marriage is affected is because you don't have enough time to just really be having fun with your partner. And yes, you have fun times with your baby, but it's not the same like adult time, one on one with your partner. You do miss that. And when you do have it, now we have it mostly at night when we put our baby to sleep, but then you're so tired, right? Or we only get like an hour or two most, which, it's okay. We're so happy, but it's tough. And yeah, you do miss how things used to be a little bit, as I've mentioned. Let me look at my notes. So you are tired when you do have time, which you don't have a lot. You're tired, so that's another thing. Or there's always something to do, right? Like let's say our baby is down. Okay, let's watch a movie. Okay, hold on, but I have to wash all the dishes, and then I actually have to fold the laundry or something like that. There's always something to do. Um, Time together, you are tired. And okay, so that's the big difference about how your marriage changes. Okay, you miss each other, and then when you do talk to each other, it's not like you don't have deep conversations. You're not gonna have those deep conversations that you used to have. You did, you're with your partner. You're married to your partner because you love them and because you like spending time with them. Hopefully. So it's a big thing when you're not able to. It affects your marriage. So you have to be. These are okay. So now I'm gonna discuss some things that we have been doing that I think really help. And so I just want to talk about them. And hopefully, if you hear this, maybe you're like, oh, I could try that or something. And it's nothing revolutionary, but just sometimes you don't even think about stuff because you're so tired that simple things or obvious things just escape you, right? So this is what I always keep in my mind. And I think it's really helped our marriage. And I talk about them with my husband too. So, before I go into them, my marriage is not perfect. I'm not an expert. Um, this is just things that have been helping us. Number one is to give grace. If he does something that annoys me, because he does and he will, before kids and after, and especially during, this time, he will, and I'm sure I do too. Instead of getting annoyed for every single thing he does that I don't like, I just give him grace. Oh, he says something in a way that I didn't love. Whatever, he's tired. I'm tired. I know him. I know what kind of person he is. I'm not even gonna say anything. It's not worth it. I get it. Of course, to within reason, um, let things go. It's a hard time. Don't make it harder on yourself. Okay, that's my number one tip. Give grace. And then I also, okay, here's the next one that I think is very important. I remember my husband read once a book. I think it's called, checking on my baby. Okay, I think it's called Make Your Own Bed. I think that's the name of it. I'll check. And we read a book together. We read it at the same time. He had already read it, but then he told me that he really liked it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll read it too, whatever. So I read it, and we read it at the same time. And there is a chapter, something like, you and me, we're on the same boat. We're part of the same team. We rowed together. And I love that. And that stuck with me. And pretty much what that means is that, I hear a lot like people in partnerships talk about how you have to give your 50% and they have to give 50%, and then that makes up 100, and then you're good. 50-50, you're good. And I don't agree with that at all. I think, sometimes your partner is only going to be able to give 10% because they didn't sleep, because they're having a bad day, because whatever reason, they cannot give their 50%. So then you step in, and it's okay because you don't only give 50%, you always give your 100 when you can, of course. And that's what we both do for each other. We If one of us is tired, the other one steps up. We're on the boat together, and we always say that to each other, right? Like, I think it's cute to have like a thing to bring it back. Like, hey, we're on this together. We're on this boat together. We're rowing together. It's okay. We're gonna get through this. Um, So don't think about 50-50. Think about giving as much as you can. Maybe not 100, maybe because it's hard, honestly, to give 100%. But just give as much as you can. And don't expect your partner to give as much as you're giving, right? Because that's not why you're doing it. You guys are part of a team. And that's at least the philosophy I use in my marriage. And some days I do more than he does. Some days he does more. Some days, most of the days, where it's very balanced. But I think that's something important. Not like, okay, well, you know what? Because I've seen this and I've heard this in other marriages, and you know what? If it works for you, great. And it's not being judgmental, but just like, I don't think that will work in my marriage. If, for example, I was putting my baby to sleep and then I did the dishes the day before or whatever. What I'm trying to say is like, okay, well, he did the dishes all day, so now he left the dishes for me because he did enough, and even though I was putting our baby to sleep, so then I get out of the room and like there's dishes to be done, but he already did his dishes or whatever. Like that's a stupid example, but what I'm trying to say is like, no, you work as much as you can because at the end our goal is to be together at the end of that's our goal, be together at the end of the day. That's another like little tip. Your goal, just get through the day, well, depending what state you're in. Now thankfully my baby has a bedtime. At the beginning they don't really have a bedtime that is early enough to spend some quality time with your partner. But I like my husband, and I'm so thankful when I'm the one that puts baby to sleep. When I come out of the room and really there's nothing left for me to do but just shower and be with him. We really make a conscious effort to make sure that even if it's 1 or 2 hours at night, we have the time to each other. That's very important. Which brings me to the next little tip, which all tips are kind of related, right? The next tip is be very intentional, and make sure you are spending time with your partner. If it's only, like I just mentioned, 1 or 2 hours at night, then that's all you have. That's all we had for a long time, and that's pretty much what we have now too. Then great, make the most of it. Um, but actually, I'm so happy to announce that yesterday, for the first time, our baby is 1, and for the first time, we actually have a babysitter. That's another tip: get a babysitter, or if you have help and you don't need one, then great. But we don't have help, unfortunately, around us. Our family, both of our families live a little bit far, so getting a babysitter or a nanny. She's a nanny, actually. She's our nanny. Um, was very important. So what we did was being very intentional about the fact that we need to spend time together, and we wanted to spend more time than just the couple hours we spend every night. We actually rented a day room at a hotel to use like the pool, and we were very excited to go to the pool. We love to read by the pool and like have drinks and just lay out, and we were very excited to do that. Unfortunately, even though we did it, it didn't pan out like we wanted it to, because the weather has been horrible and it has been so cold. And of course, the day that we had scheduled it for, it had to rain, which sucked. But we made the most of it. Honestly, we were in the room. We went to a double tree, which gives you the cookies. So that for me was amazing because I love cookies. And so we had cookies when we got to the hotel, and we just got in the bed, turned the TV on, and we just rested with each other and watched TV. And honestly, it sounds like not a big deal, but it was just like watching TV in the middle of the day, laughing, not thinking about, oh my God, the monitor, is she waking up? Nothing, just it's amazing. It was so nice to be able to do that with my husband, just like eating cookies in bed. We took a notebook and a pen because we wanted to like um, plan out like our future and talk about finances. And I love doing things like that with him. So we did that. Then we had like some yummy lunch. But anyways, this what I'm trying to say is make sure that you're making an effort to make time to be with your partner as much as you can. at least once a month or whatever works for you. It depends on, again, the stage you're in with your kids, how many you have too, of course. I mean, I only have one. So it's going to be different if you have like four, but I think having a babysitter or someone that can help you and planning out those days help. Like we had this plan for a while. So just plan it in advance. So they will get here, even if it's like 2 months from now, even if you're like, I cannot do anything this month or February. Okay, plan it for March. March is going to be here before you know it. So, and honestly, I was so happy the whole day. And like, it was so cute. It was such a cute day. We were happy the whole day after. And I can't wait to do it again for next month, really. And make time. Oh, a very important one too is to lower your expectations. It's not gonna be like it used to be, and it's okay. It kind of goes back to missing kind of like your old life a little bit. So it's okay to miss it, and it's okay to lower your expectations. Maybe your husband is not gonna be how he always used to be, because he's tired, because he was feeding the baby and hasn't eaten yet, or for whatever reason. It's okay. Things don't have to be great all the time when you're going through a hard phase. Just, I try. Um, and again, I'm not telling anyone to do any of these things. I'm just saying what has helped us. And hopefully this, is something that you could be like, oh my God, maybe that could help me too. So I think lowering your expectations is a good one too. Like, okay, so, oh, maybe he didn't get me like a great gift this year or something. Oh, okay, well, don't have your expectations that he's gonna be like on top of everything like he used to. Now his time is not his anymore. And thankfully, and not thankfully, what's the word that I'm trying to think of? And rightfully so, right? Like if he's spending all the time with our baby girl. So that's why he doesn't have the time that he used to plan and to do things as we used to once before. So I think that's important too. And if you have expectations that are very high, that's just going to lead to disappointment many times. And that's not good. And another one, it kind of goes back, it's kind of related to the one I just said, but like help your partner not to fail, right? Like if I always tell my husband, like, if you think I'm forgetting to do something, or if there's something that I could be doing better, tell me. Don't wait for me to fail to then tell me like, hey, you did this. How can I make an example out of this? Like, for example, let's say I'm expecting a gift for my birthday, right? I'm just gonna say something to him like, hey, I do want a gift for my birthday, just so just a little hint, because your mind is crazy, you know. That's kind of like a weird example because he should get me a gift for my birthday. I mean, it's my birthday, but just so you understand what I'm kind of talking about, help your partner not fail. And that's going to make sense to you in your own way. You're going to remember my words as you're going through your days in your life with your partner. You're going to be like, oh, I could have said this, and that would have made things better. Because I've done it, and he has done it with me several times. And I think it really helps in a relationship. It's kind of like giving grace, like any way that you can help each other out to be better partners, then I think that's a win-win for everybody. But anyways, let me just look at my notes quickly. Give grace is a big one. Not 50-50, give 100% or as much as you can. We're on the same boat together. We're rowing together. If you have like a little mantra like that you could just say to each other, I think it's so cute and really like it helps the moment. If like you have like a moment that's kind of like not great. Make time, get a babysitter, get your mom, your sister, whoever. Please watch the baby it doesn't have to be a whole day, a couple of hours, even just for a dinner. It really changes things. It really does. Lower your expectations and help your partner not fail. Um, those those are my little tips that I have. And just so you know, if you're in the thick of it now and your marriage is not how it used to be, and you're very sad about it, I've been there, and it's sad, and you do miss how things used to be, but trust me, it gets better. And even though things are different, they're beautiful in a different way. And so just hang in there because things will get better. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day.